against Caris.
Outside.
Just to decide who throws first in this one. Outside the 25 from Hendriks. Caris only needs a 25. Well, he can't manage that.
It's back to the ball first for the ball.
Well, if you're looking to have a little bet, it wouldn't be a bad bet to have Taylor to win this over this Easter period here in Berlin. The way he's playing, as I said earlier on, the way I was watching him practice as good as I'd seen him practice for a long, long time. And the thing about it is, Dan, that he's now ultra confident. He's got that back. Where he started to doubt himself, that is now drifting away, and he's back to that online system, I suppose, as Phil Taylor's brain works.
Yeah, building up a head of steam at the moment. Taylor, of course, awaiting the winner of this one as Magnus Caris gets the match underway with a solid ton. Jelle Klaassen against Jihan Artut. It's the first German player that we've got in action at this German Darts Masters. That's on the way next, and then it'll be Joe Mernon against Andy Smith, the Pie Man, to round off the afternoon session.
Yes, the Pie Man had a nice little drive over. Got stuck 5 hours at the port because the trains went down, so he's had a bit of an eventful couple of days getting here. But that won't upset the Pie Man.
Won't wipe the smile off his face. The happiest man on planet darts, they say. That is a nightmare visit from Magnus Caris there. 13 scored.
Well, Hendriks not really punishing the bad score of Caris. So Caris still with the throw. He did throw first in this match. This is a better visit. He just leans over, look round the caller just to see what he wants. And that's a great visit from Magnus Caris.
Yeah, Hendriks, one of the guys who came through the qualifiers, beat Stefan Kauenberg, Gino Voss and Mensur Suljevic. Decent couple of victories there.
60.
It's not the end of the world that Caris didn't hit a treble there, because Hendriks is back on 234, but a big score certainly does put him under pressure. Oh, that is not the dart he wanted to see.
40.
No pressure at all to Magnus Caris. Take his time with this. 88 wanted.
Well, they'll go the treble 10 route here, which he hits. He didn't need to go for the 16 to leave the ball because Hendriks cannot check out at the moment. And an indifferent leg here from Hendriks, and well, we don't know if that was for the 18s or the 20s. Scruffy scoring, I call it, Dan. He's not really put any pressure on, and this is where Magnus has just got to tidy these legs up and get some pressure on, and he's done exactly that with the double 18.
Yeah, it's fair to say they won't sing any songs about that leg of darts, but Magnus Caris has got a first one on the board.
121.
So Dan, when you're scoring the 87s, the 95s, the 96s, you're not really scaring your opponent. If you went straight tons, he looks at that and goes, blimey, he's playing well. Different attitude, and there may only be a few points in the difference between the 100 and the 96, the 95, but a totally different attitude from your opponent.
25.
Well, Hendriks with the 140, Caris with the 125. Maybe these two are just warming up slightly. Having said that, he's just thrown one in the one. That's a cracking 57 that he comes down the board for.
59.
I tried to go in the 18s. Didn't help him out. That's perfect for Caris. I think he's followed that up. And that is the first maximum. Cassie, MC just checking that. For the first maximum, that leaves him on a finish, and Hendriks under pressure now to put a dent in this.
96.
Which he does to an extent, but Caris, if he can take out 109, gets a breaker throw and a 2-0 lead. And cements an early advantage, and he should get a shot here. 17 for double 16. Magnus Caris, 109 checkouts.
93.
Missed it by quite some distance, and Poker Face not really living up to his name there.
I think that's what he said. He said I missed by a long way there as well. It was in Swedish, so we didn't understand it. But Jerry now, and he's missed so many big numbers in this leg that he's only going to get perhaps his third dart at the bullseye instead of at a double. Well, he's going to get double 5 now for Hendriks, and double 5 he is.
Second leg, Jerry Hendriks.
Well, from pretty much nowhere,
Roper.
Jerry Hendriks finds the treble he wanted and follows it up with his dart straight into the double. So it's one apiece here.
100.
Did say that Phil Taylor awaits the winner of this. Hendriks has played Taylor a couple of times. Went a set up in the World Championships
41.
before losing in the first round. And he actually pushed him quite close at the European Championships as well. Went 10-7, a pretty even match. So the power won't hold any great fear for him.
140.
It's a bit more like it.
Also, we've got to take into account, Dan, you know, first round matches, they are a bit edgy. You know, you don't know the stage, you don't know the crowd. You know, it is. It's always from the second round onwards, normally when the players settle down and start throwing some great darts, although we did see a brilliant display of darts from Michael Smith earlier on.
100.
Better leg of darts from Magnus Caris this. 340 scored after 3 visits. Jerry Hendriks snuck one in the treble 20 there.
83.
But he's still quite a way back. So he doesn't need to go for the ball finish, even if the first 2 do go in. He may well just stay on the treble 20. Well, he's coming down, it looks like.
I like the 25 shot here. Well, he's left the
37.
Yeah, he's left the double 12 by hitting the treble 20. The 25 would have guaranteed him the 2 darts at a double, and under pressure sometimes it may be worth
92.
looking at that route. With Hendriks well over 200.
Magnus route by 24.
Caris has left the double 12, and for a tidy leg, 13 darts with the throw.
Yeah, far and away the best leg of darts we've seen in this match so far, as Magnus Caris goes 2-1 up with a 13 darter. Yeah, struggling a little bit, Jerry Hendriks here. Magnus Caris, we're hoping to take advantage while he's doing so. He missed a dart in the second leg. He'll be thinking I could be 3-0 up here already and have 1 foot in the second round. It's a good first dart from Jerry Hendriks, follows it up with a second. Desperately unlucky to see that deflect out of the little red bit.
Well, both players seem to be holding on to the throw, especially Caris, but neither can really attack the other against the throw.
81.
Yeah, nearly 200 points between them at the minute. Said Caris has been around the circuit for a number of years. I mean, semi-final of the Lakeside back in 94, back in 92 he made the semi-final of the World Masters. Since moving to the PDC he's made a couple of semi-finals, never gone all the way and won one.
140.
Did make a semi-final in March, beat the likes of Justin Pipe, Stephen Bunting. It was Ian White who ended his run. in the semis.
125. Jerry, you require 95.
Hendriks looks at 95. 45 off, so 10 for double top. Bends the wire. But he will be back. And he'll be glad to have missed high rather than leaving himself double 10.
Again, possibly a lot of punters who are watching this will think that was an unorthodox way of going for 95.
Jerry, you require 40.
But he's thinking if he hits the treble 19, he doesn't want the double 19. So that way, and with Caris, you know, over 200, he could opt for the double that he prefers, and the double top is that.
In that situation with Caris nowhere, would you prefer a shot at the ball with your first dart, though? Or just not worth it?
I mean, there is several ways of going for, you know, obviously loads of combinations. You know, the 95, you know, I'll always go for the treble 19. You can always go 6 for double 16. You know, the 19 leaves you 76, which is a nice split on the treble 20 double 8. But it is personal preference, and whatever you do when you put your foot to the hockey, you don't doubt yourself. It's like a guy stepping up for a penalty and goes, right, I'm going to put it in the right-hand corner, and on impact changes his mind.
Well, Jerry Hendriks managed to close that one out eventually. It was his last dart in hand at double 5. It's come to his rescue again. Magnus Caris was sat on 72. But what a way to start this leg from the Swede.
140.
Well, all four legs, sorry, have gone with the throw. As we get nearer and nearer to the end, that's when it gets edgy. And Caris, a real good strong leg on his throw again.
140.
Yeah, back-to-back 140s for Caris. Needs something very special if you're going to put pressure on that.
Well, there are the averages, and Jerry, if he looked at them, he knows he's playing well below par on that sort of performance. Magnus at the 97 average is very unusual, Dan, that you would see the first 9 average below
60.
your overall average, because all your danger, well, you know, all your power scoring is obviously done in those first 9 darts.
.42. Magnus, you require 161.
Well, he'll come down for treble 17 like he did last time, and like he did last time, he misses it. He's in 98.
123.
Well, you'd think he'll come back and split that with Hendriks back on 299 at the minute. We'll see what he's left with at the end of this.
99. Magnus, you require 38.
Oh, will he go straight for double 19 here, Caris?
No.
No, he won't. No, he won't.
And that's
a sensible decision.
Magnus Caris. 6-legged Jerry to roll first.
Yes, if it had missed the double 16, we'd both have gone, well, he's gone the wrong route there.
$100.
Well, a pretty good guide that is for Caris. He likes to pitch the dart over others. He's a big tall man, so although it looks as if the dart's kicking up to Magnus, it ain't. It's sitting just absolutely right. And a lot of times you'll see him, a bit like Taylor in a way, lay the dart on the flight and just that funnels it into the treble 20.
Yeah, just a little tungsten shelf for him to plonk him on top. And that looks pretty good as well. Excellent stuff from Magnus Caris.
140.
Well, he's in with a shout here. We're yet to see a break of throw in this match. There's no trouble here from Jerry Hendriks, and there isn't. Magnus Caris has got a chance now. He'll be able to sense there could be a big turning point here. He's having to switch down the board. Beautiful cover shot on the 57.
96.
Well, edges daylight between himself and Hendriks. Now Hendriks needs at least a double treble visit. Is he going to put all three in the big trebles? That certainly gets him back into the leg, but a chance here for Caris. Obviously can't take it out, but needs to set it up, and he's going to do that. He's going to get at least a dart at the bullseye when he returns if Hendriks doesn't take the 102 out. Oh, what a mistake that was from Caris.
Yeah, just staying straight would have made a massive difference to him. We'll need a 57 for tops. Well, that doesn't really help Jerry Hendriks, and Magnus Caris took out 96 in the first leg. Taking out 24 and 38. This would be the biggest checkout of the match. Needed the treble.
Well, that last dart he threw in the previous three by hitting the one cost him at least a dart at the bullseye to win the leg, and he's just gone and thrown that dart off the board, and you can see he's disgusted with himself.
Yeah, it's a baffling one, that. He raises his arms wide. He might be coming back, though. He is going to come back, and
you can still see how annoyed he is with himself. And it weren't Magnus going for the double 16. That was just a flyer. It's just come out of his hand wrong, because now he may only get the one dart, the third dart of the double. He needs a treble to have two.
Not that one.
He's hit the 45, leaves him 21. The 5, the big 5. This may be a hard one to hit now, Magnus. The way the last two darts has gone, and that was nearly in the treble.
Well, it's been a horrible mess, these last few darts, and it's no real surprise that he's landed in the wrong bed. It's been an absolute hideous mess. The last couple of visits from Magnus Caris, and Jerry Hendriks has just been waved back to have a chance at restoring parity. Well, he's got to go 3 for double 1 in the madhouse, Jerry Hendriks.
Require 66.
Well, have another go, Magnus. I don't think you'll be going anywhere near the treble 15. Just the one dart at a double.
26.
And never really threatened there. The Jerry Hendriks is looking at double 1, and these are never easy.
Now the first dart has you've got to aim a little bit high on the first dart. If it drops in, all well and good. Well, that's not really what I'd call high, but the second one goes straight in. And that was an absolutely crucial leg for Caris, because he had a big chance there to break the throw and go 4-2 up. And he absolutely blew it. And it's unlike Magnus. You know, he threw a dart out of the board, you know, when setting it up. Then it's a treble 15. Then it's a double 11 going for the double 8. And cost himself, you know, numerous darts at a double to close the leg out. But with 3 legs on, if Magnus goes on and loses this, he will crucify himself over that leg.
Well, look, Magnus, he does have a slight history of mental implosions, does Magnus Caris. You go way back to the Lakeside, he lost to Bobby George, and he was 4-2 up. And it all went horribly, horribly wrong after he missed a match dart, and Bobby won 9 legs in a row to beat him. At the World Championships at Ali Pali, he played Steve Beaton. He missed match darts. The crowd got on his back, and he completely lost it. And Beaton came back and won the match in the deciding set. He's just going to maintain his composure and just keep plodding on, because Jerry Hendriks has only thrown an average of mid-70s, and he's 3 apiece. This is basically a first to 3 game now. You can forget everything that's gone before. Jerry Hendriks is still in this despite throwing desperately average darts. Look at that, 12, 13 points in the averages between these two. He's no right to be level at 3 apiece. But he is, and it's what matters, what happens over the next 3 potentially 5 legs that counts.
Well, sometimes there is no logic in the stats. And Magnus, the percentage on doubles he'd settled for every day of the week. not for Jerry Hendriks, but it isn't the doubles that's been the problem. It's been getting down to the double as the problem.
Yeah, it's been a strange old game, this one. And right now on the Caris throw, Hendriks has a chance if he can find a treble, and he can't. But 1-2-4 isn't outside the realms of possibility. That's a great visit from Magnus Caris. But it'll be completely futile if Jerry Hendriks takes this out. Well, he can't do it now.
44. Magnus require 52.
So all of a sudden that 140 from Magnus Caris in the previous visit has proved to be very profitable. He's got 2 dots at double top for a 4-3 lead. Well, he has to come down for double 10. And there it is, and Magnus Caris manages to restore his lead. And once again it's a leg one on throw.
He got away with that a little bit because the early part of the match he'd lost his throw on the scoring, and Hendriks did not punish him. So Hendriks now and he's probably thinking, where has that come from?
Well, it's his first of the match. Jerry Hendriks.
97.
He knows he's got to win 3 of the next 4 legs. Look at this. Oh, well, 4 perfect darts to start the leg.
$131.
Well, the best scoring leg of the match so far for Hendriks. Again, Magnus Caris, 1 above, 1 below, and not in the middle. So advantage Hendriks. He's going to get at least 6 darts from 140. He'll settle for a nice straight ton here.
Well, it may be even better than that. It is better than that.
120.
Yeah, get a taxi to that one.
Yeah, I think they call it a wide in cricket.
Yeah. But he will be back to have another crack at it.
And again, Magnus missing a big number. I mean, that really is costly if Hendriks misses this double 10.
Well, double 5 has come to his rescue again. It's the 3rd time he's hit it, Jerry Hendriks. Only double he's hit other than that is double 1. And we are all square at 4 apiece. Good shooting on the 19s from Magnus Caris.
All 8 legs going with throw. If it stays like this, then Caris will win the match after winning the bullseye at the start of the game. So Hendriks is going to have to break Caris to win the match.
And 85. $42.
Well, it's fair to say if Phil Taylor is watching this somewhere, I don't think he'll be quaking in his boots with what these two have served up so far. However, first round match, just a case of getting the W next to your name, buys you a chance then to turn up and produce your best stuff in the next round. And this is a bit more like it from Jerry Hendriks.
140.
Well, that score has certainly put him back in the leg. What can Caris do? You stay there. 25's not a bad route there, Bar, but the 54 is even better. should guarantee himself at least a dart at the bullseye when he returns, and it depends on what Hendriks hits to see what he goes.
81. Masters require 88.
The treble 20 for double 14. Now the 18 for bullseye. He's just looking over to check if Hendriks is on a shot, so he's got to go the 18 route. Now the bullseye.
Bang in the middle for Magnus Caris.
Magnus Caris. 10th leg and is very good. Roll first.
Well, he enjoyed that, the Swede, and it puts him within a leg of the second round. And Hendriks knows he's got to win the next 2 legs. He's got to do something that neither of these men have done today, and that's actually break the throw, Jerry Hendriks, if he's going to make it through to the next round. He's managed to hold his throw on 4 separate occasions so far. Jelle Klaasen against Jihan Artut coming up after this. And Joe Murn versus Andy Smith to round off the afternoon session.
13.
But we have got at most 2 more legs left of this one. And if Magnus Caris has his way, this will be the final leg.
60.
That doesn't help him out.
No, he didn't really punish the bad score of Jerry Hendriks. And Magnus knows, you know, when you get a match like this, Dan, and it goes to the last leg, anything can happen. You know, 3 darts could win the leg. 3 brilliant darts could win the leg. You know, a big score at the right time.
You see from the stats there, I mean, you know, that's very good finishing from Magnus Caris, to be fair.
80.
But that's been his problem, you know. He's not been rattling in the big scores.
83.
Important for Hendriks to get one in the treble 20 there. But Magnus Caris knows a big score here, and that's a great dart for him. Fantastic stuff from Magnus Caris. Is this going to be his second maximum of the match? Has to settle for a 140, but he has the upper hand here. The finishing line is in sight for Magnus Caris, and a place in the second round against Phil Taylor. He can almost reach out and touch it. 6 darts from here for Magnus Caris.
Needs to find a treble though. Oh, and he's found that. Now don't miss the big number.
100.
That's the most important thing. He's going to come back with at least 1 dart at the double top. All Hendriks can do is set it up and hope that Magnus Caris is going to miss to stay in the German Masters this year. So Caris steps up for the match.
Just stay straight, he'll be telling himself. Well, 20 for tops. He's hitting 1 in 2 of his doubles so far today. He's only got 1 chance at this, and he's missed it. A match dart goes begging. Jerry Hendriks is looking at 92. And which way will he go? Looks like he's having a look at treble 20. He was, and he's missed, but he's still got a chance. Double top.
72.
And that might be the final dart he throws here at the German Darts Masters, because Magnus Caris is coming back. 3 darts in his hand. He wants double top. He's already missed 1 match dart to seal a 6-4 win.
Yeah.
There it is. And Magnus Caris, it was scrappy, it was messy. It was by no means his best, but job done for Magnus Caris. It's Poker Face who goes through to round 2. A 6-4 winner over Jerry Hendriks.